I'm Jake Wood, and welcome to Shreveport Aquarium's Backyard Bayou. We're going to take you on an adventure in your own backyard through the waters and forests of Northwest Louisiana to visit with the folks who make this a part of their daily life, to teach you something you may have never known about your own backyard. We're visiting Cross Lake. Nestled in the northwest corner of Shreveport, Louisiana, this 14 square mile, almost 9,000 acre lake has almost 56 miles of shoreline. It serves as Shreveport City drinking water source. It's also a hub for recreation and fisheries and water sports, and it's also a huge ecosystem nestled right here in our backyard. And today, we're going to visit with the Cross Lake Patrol to learn a lot more about what you can find on Cross Lake. Hey guys, how's it going? I'm Jake.
Good, I'm Corporal Michael.
Corporal Michael.
Corporal McCord.
Corporal McCord, nice to meet you. Mind if I come aboard?
Come on.
All right. So tell me a little bit about the Cross Lake Patrol.
Okay, well, Cross Lake Patrol is a part of the Shreveport Police Department, and that's one thing that people don't realize. Sometimes people will call us the park rangers or the wildlife agents or game wardens, but actually the City of Shreveport owns the entire lake, so it falls under the jurisdiction of the City of Shreveport. Do a lot more what I consider positive interactions with the public. Most people who call you out here call you because they would like to see you. Generally their boat's broken down and they would like to be towed to shore. We get to help people more, I would say.
What in the heck are all these mud huts on the side of the bridge?
Well, I like to compare first to say in the city of Austin, they have the Congress Street Bridge with the Congress Street Bridge bats.
Right.
Some people don't realize, here in Shreveport, we have our own little treasure. This is what I call the I-220 cliff swallow colony. And as you notice, this colony gets larger each year as the birds reproduce. And basically, it's a species of bird that takes little daubs of mud,
right,
and they attach themselves to underneath the bridge and they make an actual nest. And as you can see, they leave a little hole just big enough for the mother to get into, and they lay their eggs inside of these mud nests. And each year it gets larger and larger. A few years ago, there were only a few nests here at the side, and now you can go down, several feet to hundreds of yards down, and the colony just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. So eventually, I don't know, this entire bridge may be covered with these swallow nests. Some of these pelicans here normally would migrate out of the area, but we noticed a couple of years ago that had fishing string and line tied around a couple of their wings, and basically cut the circulation off. And there's actually at least one of those that has a complete wing missing.
Oh, wow.
So I'm not sure if all four of these are unable to fly, but know that a couple of them have been injured due to some of the trash that's been left behind by fishermen, either inadvertently or just people discarding things on purpose.
So how does this happen? How does something like this happen to the pelicans that are on Cross Lake? Are people just throwing garbage into the lake, or is it just finding its way here?
Everything that gets discarded in the city, and you see those drainage holes on the side of the road, even in a residential area, most of that water that rushes down in there, it ends up in Cross Lake. So when people are driving down the road, even if they're nowhere near the lake in Shreveport, and they throw a can out the window or they let stuff blow out of the back of the truck and it lands in the street, anytime a big rain comes, it all washes down into those drains, and they come out here. And as you know, this is our drinking water. The treatment plant's just right around the corner. And underneath the surface of this water, unfortunately, there's shopping carts, trash cans, parts of old boats, everything that's been discarded ends up here in the lake. Even here, right here, we have a shopping cart. Looks like it's from Family Dollar. And I'll show you, these things really get embedded down into the mud, and they're hard to pull out. And you can get them out, but this is just what you see on the surface. So you come back during the summertime when it's hasn't rained in a while and it starts getting shallow. If you're a boater out here, you've got to be really careful because you do not want to end up hitting something like this.
And this is our drinking water.
This is our drinking water.
This is sitting here.
Matter of fact, we can go ahead and take this out
our drinking
and
water.
take it back with us and let it go to its proper place, which is definitely not in the lake. say that's a little.
So we're pulling that water from the 12 Mile Bayou pumping station, right?
Yes.
So the 12 Mile Bayou is, of course, attached to the Red River. And the Red River goes all the way up to Lake Texoma. So really any pollution that goes into the Red River from Oklahoma to Texas all the way down to Louisiana could end up in our drinking water.
That's exactly right. The potential is that, as you said, anything in those bodies of water can be in Cross Lake because it's pumped out of that bigger system.
And vice versa. So if someone puts something in Cross Lake that doesn't belong here, it could find its way over the spillway into the Red River and eventually make its way down to the Gulf.
Yeah, that's why I tell everybody, everything is connected. Almost every body of water in one way or another is connected to another. If not directly, as you say, indirectly.
This is Buzzard Island, a popular wayfinding point for folks launching at Cross Lake's public boat launch, but an ecological hotspot as far as birds are concerned for this sanctuary just a couple hundred yards off of the shore.
These birds are sort of in a precarious situation. They nest low to the ground. It's very obvious that their nest here. The young birds make a lot of noise, so it's very attractive to predators. But when the birds find an island like this, completely cut off from the main land, it's surrounded by water all the way around, cuts down. There are no foxes, no coyotes, no dogs, no cats on this island. So basically, it's a very nice place for them to raise their babies. However, they're not exactly totally predator free, because usually in the afternoon on the top of that dead tree there'll be a bald eagle sometimes sitting right on top of that. And the bald eagle sits up there and peers down, looking over those nests, waiting for an opportunity to snag one of the little babies that may get out of the nest or is not being guarded by the parents. So it's almost a predator-free island.
A large portion of Buzzard Island's population is the cattle eagle. And a fun fact about these guys is they're not native to the United States, but they're endemic, which means they came here on their own accord. So this species being in North Louisiana is actually younger than Cross Lake itself. Cross Lake was impounded in 1926, and these guys made their way up to the United States about 1930 and have found their way to make a home in Northwest Louisiana. So obviously you can't think about time on a lake without fishing, right?
Correct.
So what kind of fish can people find in Cross Lake?
Whatever kind of fish you want, Jake. No, actually what some people may or may not be aware of is the city has a hatchery here on the lake, and they raise a Florida hybrid bass, which is basically the largemouth bass that a lot of people like to catch, popular game fish. We have so many tournaments out here each year where people are after that fish in particular. But they also raise catfish at the hatchery, which are released into the lake. It's got a pretty healthy population, of course, of all your other game fish, perch, brim, all of those things.
Are there alligators in Cross Lake?
There are alligators in Cross Lake. Now I like to tell everybody that I don't know of any documented case of an alligator ever attacking or injuring a person out here, but there are some large beasts out here.
So you're an avid kayaker, right?
Yes, yes.
So you've seen some of these alligators while you're kayaking?
Yes, during the day you'll see them rarely, but that's the advantage of having a kayak. A lot of people come out here for years and they say, well, I've never seen an alligator. I don't believe they're out there. But generally they're in a motorboat. The motor's going, it's making a lot of noise, it's vibrating. Alligators are gone long before you see them. But when you're in a kayak, it gives you that distinct advantage. You're right on the surface of the water, you're quiet, there's no engine noise, and you can see them out here, especially if you go out at night.
So what's that thought when you're paddling along and you see an alligator the size of the boat that you're in?
Well, I'm a little odd, Jake, because to me it is an adventure. I enjoy seeing it. I think it's fun. I don't really have a big fear of the gators.
Right.
Like they always say, they're more afraid of you than you are of them, which is true out here. As soon as they see you, they generally go underwater and they'll pop back up somewhere else.
Corporal Michael, thank you very much. We want to thank you and the City of Shreveport for having us out here and showing us this incredible resource right here in our backyard, almost attached to downtown.
Yeah, well, you're very welcome, Jake. I like to show everybody what the city has to offer here. It's a jewel, actually, right in the middle of the city that a lot of people either are unaware of or just don't take advantage of. And a lot more people should come out and check it out, see what we have out here.
We really appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you very much. So there you have it. Cross Lake, a biological melting pot right here in our own backyard. From the water to the sky, There's limitless resources right here for you to see and experience and touch, and we hope that you learned something today, and more importantly, that you get out here to experience the Bayou in your own backyard.